Universe 25 experiment. The Universe 25 experiment was this experiment with rats, I believe. It was conducted by an American researcher in the 1960s, 1970s. It was about the effect of population density on behavior of rats, of rat communities. So, what happens when you have a rat community in a closed environment, very good environment with abundant, unlimited food and every resource? But what happens when there is a growth in the population? What happens when there is overpopulation? How does it affect the behavior and the social structures of these animal rat communities? Okay, so there was this enclosed habitat, a large enclosed habitat with four rooms or something. It was called Universe 25, and it had mice or rats, I think mice. And these mice were provided unlimited food, unlimited water, nesting materials, whatever other resources mice need to thrive. So initially, a population of I think 25 mice, I don't know how many, initially a small population was introduced in this habitat. Okay, they were all healthy, they were all disease free, they were all pretty happy mice, and the conditions were very ideal for them to prosper and thrive and be happy. Ample space, ample resources. So what this did is that it caused rapid population growth. So there is rapid population growth and there is prosperity because everything is there. Mice populations double about every 50 days or so. 50, 60 days, the mice population doubles. So initially, they all exhibited normal social behaviors. They formed territories, they formed social groupings, they raised their young successfully. But then what happens is that the population kept on rising, the population density kept on rising, and then you saw signs of stress and discomfort, and then the behavior started changing. The social hierarchies that are inherent in every society, human or animal, these social hierarchies started changing and they started breaking down. There was a collapse of social structures, and there was a collapse of normal behavior patterns. Aggressive behavior started dominating, antisocial behavior started dominating, violence, cannibalism, infanticide, infant mortality went through the roof. The mice, okay, more than 90% of infants started dying because the mice became withdrawn, isolated. They refused to engage in normal activities, they refused to mate, they refused to build nests, and all kinds of weirdness you saw. And then the birth rate started plummeting precipitously, and the population started declining. Mortality rates went to the roof because of neglect of infants and violence among all these uh, various mice. So despite having abundant resources, abundant food, abundant water, the population started declining. Eventually the population collapsed and almost went extinct. So what this tells you is that it's not enough to be prosperous. Okay, and this is something that applies even to human societies. Okay, it is kind of speculative obviously, but the overcrowding and the overcrowding was a very big factor in this matter. Despite having abundant food, abundant water, abundant resources, whatever you want, there was overcrowding, and they were all confined in this city like environment. They could not go out of that. Okay, and there was the absence of any danger. There were no predators, there were no challenges, so they all became complacent, and it was very unnatural. uh, it was a very unnatural situation to be in. So when you have overpopulation, when you have high density living conditions, even if you have prosperity, even if you have abundant resources, your social structures break down, your behavior breaks down. There is stress, there is mental health problems, there is the breakdown of social order, there is a decline in uh, birth rates, there is an increase in mortality, and so on. So this could be relevant to humans also. So it's a very, you could say, significant, it's a groundbreaking experiment that was conducted in the 1960s or 70s about social psychology, about the potential consequences of overpopulation. And one could say that there is some applicability of this to human beings as well.